Hello and welcome to the Analyser. We're back to Flemington. It's Australian Guineas Day, and joining me fresh off a fill-up at Caulfield is Dave Strehlau.
Yeah, it promises to be a great day of racing. We're back at HQ. Last time we raced here was Lightning Stakes Day. The rail was in the true position on a good track. Now it's in the 2 metre position. It's only negligible movement, but I still expect it to play quite similar to Lightning Stakes Day, where a few lanes off the fence will be the place to be. Not easy to lead and win, but you can if you're good enough. Those possible showers, they're in the morning. I don't think it's enough to move it from the good 4 rating. And those winds are from the southeast. Again, I'm not sure they're going to have a great impact, but it might be sticky out there on course with a bit of rain in the morning and warm conditions.
Yeah, track should race well. Raced beautifully a fortnight or so ago. You expect nothing less as we get a market. Thanks to Ladbrokes for the opening of the 10 races, and Jacaranda, who went around in the Millennium last time out, your $3.90 favourite. Gin Twist has been well backed, $4.80 into $4. La Gitana's been $4.50 to $4.40. Ledhar's been $5 into $4.80. And a little bit of support at a bigger price, Harry Met Sally, $27 into $21. Let's have a look at Gin Twist, who's probably been the best backed of those towards the top of the market. We're going to Caulfield, and we're having a look at her last start performance, which was in the Blue Diamond Preview.
It was, and the Blue Diamond Preview produced the winner of the Blue Diamond. Streisand was back wide against the pattern of the day. Ghana Zakan came through this, which also ties in Jacaranda. Ghana Zakan was good when Jacaranda had every chance going up to the Inglis Millennium in its second start. But Gin Twist was outside the leader. I thought she stuck on quite well. Her performance at Pakenham on debut was pretty good as well in what was a swoopers race. Now, she's been given some time since this. I loved her jump out down the straight. So she got a look down the Flemington straight. She was beaten by La Astro Chat, who's a 3-year-old that's flying, that goes around later in the program. And also straight track specialists, Smiling Warrior, is it? For the Smiling something, for the Hayes camp anyway. That
Shining Smile.
Shining Smile, that's the one, yeah. He loves the Flemington straight as well. So I thought that was a pretty good straight track form reference.
She looks a really professional little filly. One I thought might be a big price in this race that is not professional by any stretch of the imagination is Harry Met Sally. And he did come back much better as a gelding this preparation. Look, I don't think this is as strong a form reference as Gin Twist, but you're getting a much bigger price. And you're a bit unlucky, Dave, when you go around in a 6-horse field at Pakenham and you only see clear galloping room inside the last 200 metres and you still run home in the quickest last 200 of the meeting. Now, they were entitled to run home quickly. They went farcically slowly for the first portion of the race. However, I did think there was a fair bit of merit to that performance. It's not a strong form reference, but at $21 plus, I can have a little something each way. How are you playing the opener?
I am getting involved. I'm not getting carried away, but I've had $10 to win on Gin Twist. I really liked that jump out between runs. The stablemate is a danger. Ledhar had some excuses, Caulfield debut. The jump out at Cranbourne since was quite good. Yeah,
it was really good. It's on a big watch, Ledhar, that it wouldn't surprise at all to see it win. I've gone with Jacaranda on top. I struggled with this race in terms of sorting out the horses at the top of the market. I'm just going to have something small 1x4 on Harry Met Sally, who I think is way over the odds off a really encouraging first up run where he should have won and can come on from it. We're going to mark it now thanks to Ladbrokes for race 2. Ruta Royale, it's your $3.50 favourite. A replay that many wouldn't want to watch again, but Dave would because he's best bet and railed him on the line. Legacy Bay, $4.80 to $5. Then it's Behaviour, $7.50 to $6.50. Regal Tycoon gold medals, the others in the market from Dirty Grin at $12. We're going to have a look at Ruta Royale as one of 2 replays here. Behaviour got back and came wide. This was a really slowly run race. Fission can get a little bit keen. Ruta Royale was good. Indola, well identified by you, that has the big turn of foot, was be suited. He charged late to grab Ruta Royale. He drops in grade off this, gets Jackson Radley back on. He's not a complicated ride down the straight, is he? He goes forward, he makes his own luck. I think he deserves to be the starting point in the race.
He's only up 3.5 kilos from last start because of that Jackson Radley claim for the drop in grade. I think they probably got it a bit wrong on him last start and went a bit too slow. He copped the slow down from the 6 to 4. He needed to get into it a little bit earlier and just use that fitness. And it meant the horse with the best turn of foot in the race was within striking distance at the right time. So if they get rolling, there's only one other speed horse in the race as well. And that's first up. So he probably gets to control the tempo of the race.
I think you're spot on about they just probably need to improve in the mid stages there. Let's have a look at a replay of one you're going to make a case for at a big price. it's Dirty Green. And we get another look at Fission. This was a couple of starts ago for Fission, last start for Dirty Green.
Well, he drew Barrier 1 this day, Dirty Green, and there was no need to drag him all the way back and wide. He ended up in a different postcode, and this was the day at Flemington where the wind was blowing from the east, and in the straight races they ran fast time and nothing made ground. So at one stage of the race he was giving Fission a length and a half, and he ends up crossing the line with Fission, who we know races well down the Flemington straight. So I thought his closing spits were really good. 1,400 metres at Caulfield last start, he was back and wide. Sectionally, he was actually okay late. It was the race that Harry's Yacht come through over the 1,400 metre trip against the pattern. I want to pen that. They've freshened him. Reece McLeod is a great booking. He has a terrific record on this guy, Dirty Green, and I want to back him each way to be within striking distance. Route Royale, you can make a strong case for him. He needs to go and win another one. Flying Mickey's got to turn a foot. Legacy Bay, I'm not sure about 1,200 metres, but has a solid enough profile.
I didn't love this race, so you've got some clarity. I didn't share that. Route Royale, I think, is the one just flying. He's going to make his own luck on speed, but not a betting race for me. The second, Dave, pretty keen to back Dirty Grin each way at the double figures as we get a look at a market now for the third race with Ladbrokes. Watersports 330 to 290 is your favourite. Bon Riches has gone the other way. Maisie's been backed $6.50 to $6. There's Great Maximus, Red Galaxy, Little Jack, all horses in single figures in what is a pretty open race outside of Watersports. I'm going to take a look here at a replay of Red Galaxy 2 starts ago, and this is what I'm making a case for, Dave, at a price. I thought this was a terrific return at Geelong, first up at a distance short of his best on a day you wanted to be up and in, and he was back and wide and hit the line really strongly. We just had a look at the previous replay when we're looking at Dirty Grin of his second up run, where he was backed and was quite disappointing, Red Galaxy. Now third up, gap between runs, blinkers go on. Look, if he can run to this best form at what is probably his best distance, I think he's right among the better winning chances in the race. He's a bit hit and miss. He's becoming hard to trust, but I think you're getting the price to find out this Saturday.
Yeah, I reckon 1,400 metres is best for him. I found it hard to forgive his last start, but can see your case. I can see a case for almost the whole field here. Maisie, the jump out at Flemington was very good. I'd watch the market for her late. She's got a little bit of ability. Great Maximus, out-sprinted slow tempo last start, perhaps looking for 14, but not really putting a race away. Bonds to Riches also in Adelaide, but flying. And Watersports, back to 1,400 metres. She's racing well, she's consistent, but she looks a touch under the odds.
No bets for Dave. I'm going to have something small on Red Galaxy at $7. I just think he's over the odds at that price. Watersports is going well. Great Maximus, Bonds to Riches. All chances in an even race, but I'm with Red Galaxy at the price. We'll head to a break on the Analyser. We'll be back with more on the other side. Welcome back to the Analyser. Time to get a market now. Thanks to Ladbrokes for race 4. It's a 1,600 metre benchmark contest. Aha, aha. Despite her defeat as a 250 favourite last time out, has been 350 to 320. Astral Flame 4 to 380. Sneaky Sunrise despite her victory 420 to 440. And then it's Hot Diggity Boom and Mo Metz. The others given chances in the betting. There's one key replay to have a look at here, Dave. It features two of your three favourites in Sneaky Sunrise and Aha Aha. Now, because this leader kicked up, there was more pace in this race. They went an even tempo. They didn't go quickly, but there was more pace than what I thought there would be. Sneaky Sunrise had a perfect run. Aha Aha got a lot further back than we thought. Look, she hit the line strongly. Can she settle closer on Saturday?
They'd like to, and there were some excuses. You know, she was first time to the mile 5 weeks between runs, but the market said she was there to run well. It was a weird run because she did not like being between runners. It was only once she got to the outside did it make some ground late in the piece. But now drawn barrier 2, well, is it going to be cluttered up again? And that's the same reservation for Astral Flame. I thought Astral Flame, wide last start, no cover, was actually a positive. It sort of likes to get rolling. Does it get cluttered up from barrier 1? It doesn't kick up to lead. Sneaky Sunrise racing well. I found this a hard race. I would have preferred a hard drawn out. Moments will be the one flashing late, but no bets.
No speed in the race either. Astral Flame might lead by default. Aha can lob up closer. It's a good opportunity for her to win one. She's hard to trust, 320, no real spoil at the price. I think the market's got it right. Happy to stay out of that one like Dave and think it's it doesn't look an attractive betting proposition. As we get a market now for the Vobis Gold Comet, and this is kind of a strong race this year. Salui's been well supported, 420 to 310. Magor easy, Bridal Waltz easy, Perilous Fighters into 750, and Salsa Fellow is at $11 with a bit of support from Midwest, 13 into 12. So you've got a case of some genuine 1,000-metre gallopers against some of the classier horses resuming from a spell. And Dave, you're going to make a case for one here at double figures in Salsa Fellow, who I think fits that bill as a genuine 1,000-metre horse.
He is, and he's been racing well this preparation, albeit in weaker races than this, without a lot of luck. But to my eye, he just wants some room. Last start, he was sort of between runners, and he was only fair in his last 100 metres once there were no other horses around him. And it ended up that his last 200 metres was fastest of the program. 2 back at Caulfield in an on-pace dominated race. Again, he was cluttered up, and it was only once through the line when he had no other horses around him that he made ground. Now they put blinkers on. He gets a bit of weight relief. There's some speed on as well. He parks off them and has last crack. He's won down the Flemington straight before. I want to back him each way. Salui, the market has found. I had a thought about backing him when he was the 460 because he is a 1,000-metre horse, but he travels down and he gets bar plates on, so he's got a negative there. Magor, well, he was half slow away in a jump out. He's got good form around him, but is he a 1,000-metre horse? Will leave me out of that price. And Perilous Fighter down in the weights. He went down the Flemington straight last start.
Yeah, I thought Magor jumped out well. 1,000 might just allow him to relax, but he does do a lot wrong. And that hot race he won, beating My Gladiola and Tentaris, he was massively advantaged by where he was on the track. Salui, 1,000-metre horse in form, but getting short now. Bridal Waltz is not a 1,000-metre horse and short enough. Salsa Fellow, you've outlined the case there. No bets for me. Dave having an each-way value bet there in the Vobis Gold Comet. We're going to market for race 6 on the program. It's an 1,100-metre race for the 3-year-old fillies, and Educated's your 360 favourite. It's been good support with Ladbrokes for Bell Mercy, 650 to 440. Headbanger's gone the other way, 4 out to $6. Thanks Gorgeous, well supported off a luckless run last time out, and Wintry and Gwen's Girl, the others in single figures, with a bit of support at a big price for Yum, $34 into $23. We're going to have a look at a key replay here, Dave, one that we're both happy to talk about. It was a race won by a very smart horse in Alpha Sophie, but you've got Bell Mercy, the eye-catcher debut for the Mars stable. Wintry, tough on speed. She's an underrated filly, and Thanks Gorgeous, forgivable, wide no cover on a fast speed.
It was a nice return from Bell Mercy for the new stable. She's the one that I want to follow through this, albeit Thanks Gorgeous has the one down the Flemington straight in the past, but Thanks Gorgeous had that fitness advantage, was 3 wide. Wintry was second up. Bell Mercy first up. Fast race, not an easy day out of the chute to be back and wide and running on. And her last 600 metres was some of the fastest of the program as well. So I thought that was a really nice return. And in a race down the Flemington straight where she can take her time to balance up, drawn a middle to outside barrier, with a lot of dangers in this race, or market dangers. You've got Educated, who's got ability, but drawn barrier 1. Pressure from Gwen's Girl, Headbanger. They've all just won 1,000-metre races at Cranbourne on dry tracks. That's not easy to convert up in distance on the Flemington straight when you've got a lot of pressure around you as well. So Bell Mercy's the one that sits back, has last crack. No surprise the market supported her. I'm in her camp.
You couldn't agree more. I think she's one of the better bets on the program, Bell Mercy. For the reason you outlined, there's a lot of horses here that they look a little one-dimensional. Now, no doubt there's going to be some jockeys that see 6 or 7 leaders on paper and they're going to look to go to plan B. But how many of them can adapt and be effective under that scenario? Well, you know it's going to suit Bell Mercy. I'm really surprised she's not favourite. I think she should be. Educated's got some real upside. Maybe she's one that can go to plan B, but she's not proven. And she was patent in favour last time out in a weaker race. 360 looks short. Wintry's going well. Thanks God, just had excuses, but I'm with you there. Pretty keen to back Bell Mercy, as is Dave. Let's look at the first 6 on Australian Guineas Day. On the other side, we'll go through the quaddy legs. Welcome back to the Analyser. Time now to get a look at a market for the Group 2 Blamey Stakes with Ladbrokes, and Apulia is your 360 favourite. Despite the race being 1,600, good support for what looks the potential leader, Air Assault, 650 to 420. Birdman's gone the other way, 460 to $5. Can begin his races slowly, and Zudo's at 6 out from 550, and Holy Man's is $9. Willie Do It gets the blinkers, he's $11. Holy Man's Willie Do It and Air Assault are 3 horses that are going to feature in the replay. We're having a look at the MRC Foundation Cup, the artist formerly known as the Carline Cup. I think we'll see a very different scenario for some of these horses, particularly Dave, Air Assault. This was a fast run race. He was sort of back and wide. I think he, in a race completely devoid of speed, looks your leader.
Of those coming through the race, he was the better run because he was 3 wide, no cover in a race where they didn't muck around. So he did it tough, and he was also first up. Look, Casino 17 was luckless back in the orange as well, should have finished a bit closer, but he was at least covered up, and Holy Man's was deeper into a preparation as well. So you're right, Damien Lane on, he draws a nice barrier. The tempo outside of Air Assault looks muddling.
Yep.
He's got the clear best early speed figures in the race, and he should just land there by default.
Let's have a look at the other key form reference when assessing this race, and it was the race won by Cafe Millennium, God bless him, for the Analyser last time out, Enzudo and Birdman. Now, Birdman, I think, was unlucky not to finish closer. It was a terrific return. He'll be fitter, suited 1600. Enzudo is the one that I think has more natural ability to take a position, perhaps just in behind Air Assault. Dave, I went back and looked last preparation when I was really keen on Enzudo. He was, I think, 550 into 270 on Oaks Day. That race wasn't fast run. He settled one out, one back. Apulia ran straight past him. I just found it hard to tip him with that race in memory as much as he could be suited on the map.
Yeah, not sure about the mile for him. Birdman was the flashing light, and second up last preparation, he bumped into Lindemann.
Yep, it was really good.
Distance range, and yeah, he was good. The problem is,
step slowly though, can't he?
If you're mapping him blending into the race midfield and you know, getting his chance, well, you're mapping him on hope, other than actually what you saw first up when he was slow away, and he's consistently slow away. So I can't back him for that reason. Air Assault was maybe the early value around 650, but this was a race I could make a case for a lot of them. Apulia, he is a good horse.
He is.
Plymouth was good first up behind Tom Kitten. I've just got to stay out.
Yeah, I saw it exactly the same. And to be honest, you know, I've gone with Birdman because I thought it was a great run in a good race, fitter, suited up in distance. I just hate his habit of stepping slowly. And Zudo, I just thought he was weak that one time. I really liked him at a mile. They like to ride him quiet at a mile, so he finishes off, but that's going to put him out of play. Air Assault's the map horse. Apulia is the class horse. Next, move on. Not betting. Go wide in the quaddie if you want to stay alive. We'll go over some races we are really keen on betting in, and one of them's the feature. It's the Australian Guineas. Observer, 215 out to 225. 60s is 290. Planet Red has a 2-1 record over Observer. He's 550. And then it's $19 all along the rest. Market's got a race in 3. We'll have a look at the 2 key lead-ups. They're the Autumn Stakes and the CS Hayes Stakes. We'll kick things off with the Autumn Stakes, which features Observer, Honour Vuitton, Planet Red, Victoria's Spirit. But there's probably 2 main horses we want to focus on here, Dave. They're at opposite ends of the field. They went quick. Observer raced outside the leader who dropped out, and he wins the race. Planet Red got a long way back, came very wide, and ran on strongly.
He was entitled to run on, given the tempo that they ran, but it also wasn't an easy day to be back and wide. I still think he's going to struggle to turn the tables on Observer, Planet Red, just because he does float right back. And look, he wasn't stopping through the line, Observer, too. This was a really nice first-up performance. The other horse that led was fit and dropped off, was beaten the length of the straight, and he stuck on a nice gallop, and he keeps winning. He's got the map advantage over 60s. I think 60s is the main danger. I'd be surprised if we saw Planet Red turn the tables on Observer.
Getting to 1600 at Flemington, this is 60s, wide no cover, far too good for a stack of runners. I think the 2 talking points coming out of this was A, the performance of 60s, and probably B, West of Swindon was okay for a horse who I think will probably second up to 1600 go forward and lead. So I've got West of Swindon, your leader. I'm interested where you think 60s will get to on the map.
Well, last start in the CS Hayes wasn't his grand final, and they were always coming to the Australian Guineas, and from a wide draw, Damien Lane was still positive. Whereas Chris Waller, they can be quite negative from wide gates. So now grand final day, wide draw, he tries to be positive, Damien Lane. This guy's led and beaten Autumn Boy over 1,400 metres before. He's got tactical versatility. He'll try and slot in. If he gets caught 3 wide, well, obviously that's going to be a negative against a horse like Observer. But I'm willing to bank on Damian Lane getting him in 60s because I don't see where the fast tempo is coming from. An Observer is a horse that excels in fast races, and 60s is the horse that has the best turn of foot in the race. So if he covers up and they go the expected average tempo that I think will play out, I think he can run past Observer. I've got it as a 2-horse race, but at the prices, I was happy to back 60s.
I can see your angle because there's been talk from the price camp about Planet Red going forward this week, and there's a scenario where if he goes forward, he gets caught wide because I think Observer sits outside lead, Romantic can counter, one out, one back. And if Planet Red does get caught 3 wide, or he has to press on, but if he's caught 3 wide, it'll get a position for 60s to sit 3 wide cover on a slow speed. Now, they might press forward. It could change very differently. I'm with Observer because he's got the tactical advantage, but I see the scenario you make with the turn of foot 60s, and it's enough for me to stay out of this race. He does have the 2-1 record, Planet Red, so that's worth keeping in mind. Bigger track will suit him. But no bets for me. Dave keen on 60s as we get a market for one that I'm very keen to bet, and I think Dave is too. It's the English Sprint, Alpha Sophie. Well, Ladbrokes went up 280 and then they went out to 290 and she sat at 290 for a few hours. That was surprising. I'm not surprised she's into 235. Nashville Jack 850, the unbeaten Trapper John and Fundamental Nature are both at $11. But let's have a look at why Alpha Sophie's 290 into 235 with Ladbrokes. It's because we spoke about this race. It looked a strong race, and maybe if she was to be vulnerable, it would be first up for a stable. Their horses generally improve. It looked a map where she was potentially back on the inside. Well done, Zach Spain. He gave her the perfect ride. And she's won really nicely.
She has. And to put into context how good this performance was, 62.68 within a second of the track record. But her last 600 metres was almost equal to Oak Hill on the same day, over the same distance, off a 10-length faster lead speed. And that horse has a massive turn of foot.
That's great information. That's a huge effort with putting it into that context.
Outstanding. So, and 1,100 metres, probably short of her best as well. Well, although we've seen evidence there say she's pretty good at 1,100 metres. But I really only see the straight track beating her. Because
I think bad luck. I don't see many good horses with a turn of foot not handle the straight.
Call, yeah.
You're more the squibby types usually that don't handle the straight. You're going to make a case for one at a big price as well. Because Alpha Sophie's probably going to be off the speed. Are you thinking this guy can make his own luck on pace?
I think Alpha Sophie's the hardest horse to beat on the program, but he is a big price La Astro Chat, and if she happens to be held up or get that bad luck, hopefully she doesn't, because I'm having a nice bet on her, but I think this guy can run well. Look, it was the right day at Caulfield to be on pace this day, and this is a rising class, but he just keeps running well, the Astro Chat. He keeps running time through the line as you follow the steward's vision. He doesn't stop, so he's full of running. So I don't reckon up in distance will be an issue for him. And he had a burl around the Flemington straight and a jump out, which was an absolute corker as well. So at a big price, I have a nibble on him, but I have my main bet on Alpha Sophie because her first up run was outstanding. Yeah,
I was very surprised at the generosity of their early prices with her. I'm not surprised she's been back, and I still think she's really backable. So best bet on the program for me, Alpha Sophie. Look, I think she's already proven she's a Group horse. She might be a Group 1 class galloper going forward. I would not be surprised at all. I think she'll take care of this lot with even luck. Big field, she's going to need some luck, but that's a more than fair price. Nashville Jack ran really well last time. He was as a $71. We don't have a ceiling on Trapper John, and I've got a lot of time for Tane Alele. But best bet on the program for Dave and I is Alpha Sophie. So we get a market for the last on the card. And good go here with Ladbrokes for Ambassadorial, 480 to 330. Fiora Knots, 420 to 370. Extra Rushes at 480, and then it sunsets at $9. So going to have a look at a replay here of a pretty exciting middle distance galloper here in Extra Rush. Now he's up in grade, but he's 4 from 4. He was first up here to 1,800. He beat Single Choice. OK, he had a few favours, but that horse then came out and won at Group 2 level. I know it was Group 2 by name, not by nature, but still, there's a lot of positives for this galloper.
Well, they were both fence in run on a fence on day, so Single Choice had his chance. This guy's 4 from 4, Extra Rush. And I tell you what, a lot of horses, when a horse looms up to their outside like this, don't find that extra level and dig right deep. You can see that this guy, he wanted to win. He did not want to let the other horse get past him. He's quite progressive, and I think he can run well from outside the leader.
The one that they've come for here early, Dave, is Ambassadorial, who Look, he was entitled to win last time out, wasn't he? We were keen on his chances. He found a race where there was no pressure. He mapped to get the front. He was unlucky not to beat key rival Fiorenot 2 starts ago. And he controlled this race as we thought he was going to. He probably, compared to Fiorenot, I think on Saturday he's going to get a better map. He's probably going to be closer to Extra Rush, getting the soft run behind the speed, whereas Fiorenot, you think, is probably going to go back, hence the early market support for him.
Well, there's speed that's been scratched from this race as well. So Fiorenot's been running on in fast races. Now he's got to go back in a slow race, and end of 2,000 metres an issue for him. I've had no bets in the race. I found it hard to split those few at the top of the market.
Completely agree. I think I've got the same numbers, and I could have had them in any order. So not a race we're keen to bet into, but there are plenty. So let's go through your bets for Australian Guineas Day at Flemington this Saturday.
We're getting involved in the 2-year-old race with Gin Twist, like the jump out down the straight. Dirty Green, good value, like him back to 12. Salsa Fellow over 1,000 metres, blinkers on. Belle Mercy, wouldn't be surprised if she starts favourite. I'm leaning the way of 60s over Observer in the Australian Guineas, just because I reckon he's got the best turn of foot in the race, and with even luck, he can be winning, no doubt. And Alpha Sophie, the hardest horse to beat on the program in race 9, and a little bit on La Astro Chat down the straight.
I hope you're right about Sophie, because she is clearly my best of the day, week, maybe month. But Harry Met Sally, I'm going to kick the day off with something small at a big price. Thought he was very unlucky first up. Red Galaxy, he's getting hard to trust, but at the price I'll have something. I'm with you, Belle Mercy. I think she should be favourite. Surprised she's not. Think she'll probably start favourite come race time, and Alpha Sophie is my best. That's a look at Australian Guineas Day at Flemington this Saturday. We're going to be back to do it next week on the Analyser, previewing Super Saturday.